is my friend Freddie. What kind of an animal is Freddie? Hi, Freddie the Frog. Freddie the Frog would like for everyone to sit way down and be very quiet. Shh. Before we start stories, Freddie always comes on my hand and says, hello, and thank you for coming. Hello to Emily, and to Angela, stretch, good girl, and to Billy, and to Patrick, and to Charles, and to Carrie, and to Lindsay, and to Matthew, and to Matthew, two Matthews, and to Alexandra, and Brandon. Could you sit up, please, and shake with Freddie? Well, while you're sitting up, Stephanie will shake with Freddie. Stephanie is an old friend of Freddie's. There we go. And now Brandon is all ready.
Scared?
Brandon, are we going to shake? Oh, okay, you can shake goodbye when it's time to leave. I'm so glad that you could come today to hear my stories about cats and caterpillars. What does a cat say?
Meow.
Meow, good. I have a story for you, Matthew. I have a story for you about a cat and a dog. This is my friend Angus. This book is called Angus and the Cat. Angus is a dog, and he's very small because he's a Scotty dog. But let's see what happens to Angus and the cat. Each day, as Angus grew older, he grew longer, but not much higher. Scotty dogs grow that way. They're very small. Now, as Angus grew older and longer, he learned many, many things. He learned that it's best to stay in one's own yard, and frogs can jump. Watch the frog jump. But
frogs can turn into tadpoles.
oh, they can't. Don't jump in after the frog. Uh-oh, he got wet. And Angus learned that balloons go pop. Angus also learned not to lie on the sofa. Angela, shh. Angus also learned not to lie on the sofa and not to take somebody else's food and things like that. But there was something outdoors that Angus was very curious about but had never learned about, and that was cats. The leash was too short. See all the little kitties? And Angus, when he's outside, always has a leash on so that he can't run away. Until one day, what should Angus find indoors lying on the sofa but a strange little cat? Angus came closer. The cat sat up. Angus came closer. Up jumped the cat on the arm of the sofa. Angus came closer. And hiss! That little cat boxed Angus's ears. He grabbed at his ears. Poor Angus. Woof, woof, said Angus. Up jumped the cat onto the sofa back, up to the mantel, and Angus was not high enough to reach her.
What?
Matthew, we'll talk in a minute. But at lunchtime, down she came to try and take Angus's food. Though not for long, up she jumped onto the table, and Angus was not high enough to reach her. At nap time, there she was again, sitting in Angus's own special square of sunshine, washing her face. Though not for long, up she jumped onto the windowsill, and Angus was not high enough to reach her again. For 3 whole days, Angus was very busy chasing that cat, but she always went up out of reach until on the 4th day, he chased her up the stairs. Now watch. Into the bedroom, and she was completely gone. Angus looked under the bed. No cat was there. Angus looked out of the window. Now very quietly, see if you can see the cat. Don't tell me, just look. He looked into his yard and into the next yard. No cat could he see anywhere.
It's on the what?
You're right, it's on the roof. But Angus can't see because the kitty's hiding around the corner. And he's looking all over, but he can't see. Angus went down the stairs. He looked on the sofa. No cat was there. He looked on the mantle. No cat was there. You're right, he's up at the top of the steps. Angus looked on the table and on the windowsills. No cat was indoors anywhere. So Angus, oh dear, poor Angus was all alone. There was no cat to box his ears. There was no cat to take his food. There was no cat to sit in his sunshine. There was no cat to chase away. So Angus was all alone and had nothing to do. Angus missed that little cat. But at lunchtime he heard this noise, purr, and there she was again. And Angus knew, and the cat knew that Angus knew, that Angus was glad the cat came back. Was he happy to see that little kitty again? They're sharing their food, aren't they?
You know what?
What, Matthew?
Our dog ran away.
Did your dog run away? Did he come home?
No,
Oh, maybe he'll come home another day soon.
no, he won't.
Oh, he won't. Are you going to get a new doggie? Maybe someday?
No, because we still have a cat.
Oh, you still have a cat. Well, you still have a friend at your house then. Can we do open, shut them, Emily? Do you remember how we play that game? Hold your hand up. What, Emily?
I have a glass cat.
A glass cat.
I used to have a cat, but it died.
Oh, dear. Now you have a glass cat that you can play with.
My grandma.
Lindsay, hold your hand up like this. We're going to play a game called Open, Shut Them. Here we go. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a great big clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Put them in your lap. Roll them, roll them, roll them, roll them. Give a great big clap. Roll them, roll them, roll them, roll them. Put them in your lap. Good, let's do it once more. And everybody say it with me if you know the words. Here we go. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a great big clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Put them in your lap. Roll them, roll them, roll them, roll them. Give a great big clap. Real fast. Roll them, roll them, roll them, roll them. Put them in your lap. Good. I have another story about cats for you. This is a good one.
Cats and dogs.
This one doesn't have any dogs in it. It has 3 kittens, and that's the name of the story, 3 kittens. Wait till you see, Lindsay, what they do.
You know what? We're going to get a dog.
You are. Good for you. These little kitties are going to get so dirty that they're going to change color. Would you like to see what happens to these kitties? It's called 3 Kittens. There they are, and there's a frog. Do you see that frog? He's right out in the other part of the library, sweetheart. 3 kittens, black, gray, and white. Oh, saw a mouse. Look at that mouse. He's eating some breadcrumbs that fell over on the shelf. Now watch what the kitties do. And they ran right after that mouse. The mouse jumped into a big can of flour. What's flour?
Flour is white stuff that you put in cakes and cookies.
Good. Flour is white stuff that you can use to bake cookies or cakes. Good. Watch what happens to the kitties, Alexandra. The kittens jumped right in after that mouse. The mouse ran away.
There's another little mouse.
That's the same mouse, and he turned white from that flour. Stephanie, can you sit down, please? And 3 white kittens climbed out of the flour can. Do you remember they were black, gray, and white? And now they're all white kittens. I'll do that later. Please sit down, Angela. Now watch what happens to the kitties. 3 white kittens saw a toad in the yard and dashed right after that toad. The toad jumped into an old stovepipe that was sitting in the yard.
What's what happened?
And the kittens crawled in right after it.
Uh-oh.
The toad hopped away.
It's black.
Now he turned black because it was so dirty in there. And 3 black kittens crawled out of that pipe. Those kitties got so dirty that they turned black.
The 2 ones turned back to their own color.
One of them did, because one of them was black to start with. You're right, Patrick. 3 black kittens saw a fish in the pond. Now watch what happens, Brandon. And dove in after that fish. Splash! The fish swam away. And 3 wet kittens came up from the pond. Look how wet and shaggy they are.
I'm back in the same color.
3 wet kittens went home. On the way home,
They're gray.
they do look gray. You're right, Matthew. On the way home, the kitties dried out and became just as before, black, gray, and white.
But what about the caterpillar?
There is a little caterpillar. You're right. I just noticed him too, Charles. What color did the kitties turn into first? First they were black, gray, and white, and then they turned white from the flower. Wasn't that right? How did they get black, Matthew?
They went through that pipe.
They went through a stovepipe.
I know.
Good. And then how did they turn back to their own color, Patrick?
In a water. They dried off.
They jumped into the water and got all dried off, cleaned off, and then they got dried off.
I know. They turned red because they jumped into the flower.
They did. Wasn't that silly? Do you know if you jumped into a can of flour, you would turn white? Oh, wouldn't you look silly if you were all white? It would. Can we stand up very quietly and hold hands and make a circle with me, please? Let's make a big, no, we're not going to play Ring Around the Rosie. Let's make a big circle. Angela, can you hold Billy's hand? There we go. Now listen very carefully. We're going to play a game that's called Walk Around the Circle. It's going to be on a record. I'm going to tell you about it first. Let's walk around the circle very slowly. Good. Now stop. Let's walk around the circle the other way. Walk the other way. Good. Stop. Now put your hands at your sides and put one hand into the circle. Good. Now put your other hand into the circle. It's not the hokey pokey, but it's like that. Now put your hands down at your sides. Put one foot in the circle. Good. Now put your other foot in the circle. Now can you jump? Good. Now stop jumping and hold hands again. See, now we're inside the circle. Remember, we're all standing in there real close. Let's step back outside our circle and make our big circle again. Good. Stephanie, move up this way just a little bit. There you go. Now everybody get ready. Stand real still, Matthew, and we'll hear the record of the circle game. Have to listen real hard so we do what the man tells us.
Can you walk around the circle, walk around?
Good. Okay, let's go back this way.
Can you walk around the circle, walk
Good. Now let's stop
around?
and get ready for the next part. Can you put your hands at your sides?
Can you stand inside the circle,
Stand inside the circle. One step in. Good job.
Can you stand outside the circle,
Now step
stand
back outside the circle. Good job. Not too far, Brandon. There you go. That's good, Matt.
Can you put one hand inside the circle?
Put your hand in the circle. Can you do that, Carrie? Good girl. Just one, Charles.
Can you put both hands inside the
Now put your
circle?
other hand in the circle. Can you wiggle your fingers while they're in there? Good. Now put your
Can you
hands at your
put
sides.
one foot inside the circle?
Put your foot in. Just one, Matt. Good boy. Don't trip.
Can you put both feet inside the
Now put your
circle?
other foot in the circle. Now make sure you're not too close to the person next to you. Give yourself
Can
some
you
space.
do a little jumping, do a little jumping, do a little jumping inside the circle? Do a little jumping, do a little jumping, do a little jumping inside.
Good job, Matthew. Now we're ready to listen again.
Can you stand outside the circle, stand outside?
Stand back outside the circle. Hold hands, please. There you go.
Can
Very
you walk
quietly.
around the circle, walk
Let's walk
around?
around very slowly. Other way, Charles. Oops. Now let's go
Can
back
you
this
walk
way.
around the circle very slowly?
Good job. What happened? Oh my goodness.
Can you
It's
walk
okay.
around
all sit back down. Billy, come here, sweetheart. I want to give you a little hug. And then you go right over there and you can find your daddy, okay? Can you go right over there by that lady, Kathy? Kathy will help you go out. There, Kathy's going to help you go down the hall. Can you turn that off? There he goes. He's all set. Good. Now you all come back and sit down over here near my chair. That was hard work, wasn't it, that record? Matthew, you did a beautiful job.
I did.
Can everybody sit flat down, Brandon, so that others can see? Sit up. Just a minute. Do you remember the monkeys who jump on the bed? Hold your hand like this.
No, I just do.
We're going to do 3 monkeys today. Hold your 3 fingers up,
Okay.
and we're going to make them jump on the bed. Let's make the first monkey a girl. So when we say she fell off, she bumped her head, okay? 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped her head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." 2 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." Good job. 1 little monkey jumping on the bed. He fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." Terrific. Now I need you to be very quiet so I can read you another story. Angela, move right over here.
Is that about those 3 kittens?
It's not about 3 kitties, but it is about 1 kitty. Yes, Charles.
I have that book of my gymnastics.
Good. I'll read it to you in a few minutes. This is a kitty whose name is Green Eyes. Why do you think her name is Green Eyes? Because she has green eyes. Everybody open your eyes real wide. I'm going to look around and see if we have any children that have green eyes today.
I do.
Oh, your eyes are a little green, Lindsay. You're right.
Mom,
Almost everybody has blue or brown eyes. Stephanie has blue, brown, and blue, and blue. Let's see, Emily. There's. Let's see, Matthew. Yours are sort of a little blue, and Carrie's are blue, and Lindsay's are green, and Charles's are blue, and Matthew's are brown. What color are my eyes? You're blue. My eyes are brown. Let's read about Green Eyes the kitty. My name is Green Eyes. I'm an all-white cat with very long whiskers. I'm going to have a birthday soon. I will be 1 year old. I was born in the country, and it was springtime when I was born. When I was very little, I lived in a big wide box with 4 high walls and a soft blanket on the bottom. When the sun was shining, my box was placed outside, and the blue sky was my ceiling. Every day, I tried to climb over the walls of my house. Sometimes my paws would almost reach the top. After lots of tries, I became stronger. Finally, I reached the top, and whoops, over I went. Carrie, look at that. He fell right over. The earth was soft, the grass was green and tall, and the flowers had many colors, and the trees were so big. Carrie, can you sit down, please?
I have to stand up my face.
I ran around and around and around and around and around the biggest tree until I got dizzy. I was tired and happy when I climbed back into my box. I remember the first time I saw chickens. Some were white, some were red, and some were gray.
No, black.
Or black.
Black or gray.
I also remember the first time I saw dogs and cows and goats. They all lived on the farm that was near my house. That's the same kitty we're talking about. That's Green Eyes. Sometimes I would sit and watch the farmer milking cows. I had a very special reason for watching. Wait till you see what the reason is. After he unharnessed his horses and fed the pigs, he gave me a nice full bowl of warm milk to drink. I love warm milk. During the summer, I was outside most of the time. When it was too hot to play, I would lie down in the tall, cool grass. Once I heard someone say that I looked just like a lion in the jungle. Soon the days became colder. The leaves turned red and brown and fell slowly to the ground. Is it fall now? That's why the leaves turned colors. Sometimes I would choose one leaf and make believe it was a mouse. I would quietly sit and wait for the wind to blow it. Then I'd chase it all around the big tree.
Why did it green?
In the spring and the summer, the leaves are green, you're right. Oh dear, now it's winter. The days grew colder and colder until one day, that's a good idea, Patrick. Everything was white. It was fun to catch the snowflakes as they fell. It was too cold to play outside. My ears were cold, and my paws were cold too, and my whiskers were all covered with snow. I was glad to lie down in my box near the radiator to keep warm. Now it's springtime again, and I'm 1 year old. I had my birthday. I'm not a kitten anymore. I'm a cat, and I have a bigger box to live in. I still love to smell the pretty flowers. Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gorgeous. I know,
And I like to look at the big trees. In the summer, I'm going to play in the tall, cool grass again. And when autumn comes, I'll watch the leaves fall to the ground. Oh, look at that kitty up on the roof. Kitties can climb very high, and they know how to get down. In the winter, I'm going to sit by my window and watch the snowflakes falling. Patrick, look at all those snowflakes. He can be camouflaged again. Matthew, we'll talk in a minute. And when it gets too cold to play, I'm going to curl up in my nice warm box and fall asleep. She's sleeping. Can you say goodnight to the kitty? Good night, Green Eyes. Sleep tight. What does a radiator do?
It keeps you warm.
It keeps you warm. Good. I thought you might know the answer to that question.
I'm 4 years old.
Are you 4 years old? You did. Do you remember Grandma's spectacles? Put your glasses up here. And let's look all around the room. Here are Grandma's spectacles. This is Grandma's cap. This is how she folds her hands and puts them in her lap. These are Grandpa's spectacles. Look all around. This is Grandpa's cap. This is how he folds his hands and puts them in his lap. Good. I have a song I want to sing with you. Do you know the Eensy Weensy Spider?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Put your fingers like this and make the spider go up the water spout. And then the rain's going to come down. And wash the spider out. Oops, excuse me, Emily, I didn't mean to bump. You can make your fingers wiggle like this if you want to. Okay, here we go. Sing it with me if you know the words, all right? Oh, where are you going, Brandon?
I'm going to be a pilot.
Oh, all right, here we go. Oh, the eensy weensy spider went up the water spout. Down. Oh, Brandon, I need for you to sit down, please, all the way. Let's start again, please. Oh, the eensy weensy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. So the eensy weensy spider went up the spout again. Good. Now everybody sit flat down because I have another story to show you.
What's it about?
Oh, I'm going to tell you in just a minute. Remember when we started, I said we had stories about cats and caterpillars? This is my very favorite story of all time. What's the name of it, Lindsay? The Very Hungry Caterpillar. He's going to go look for some food. And while he's looking, I need for you to be very quiet and watch the pictures right here. Are we all set?
Yeah, we're ready.
In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop, out of that egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started out to look for some food. He was very hungry. On Monday, he ate through one apple. But he was still hungry. Look at that, he ate a hole right through. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears. Here he goes. But he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 strawberries. I love strawberries.
I do too.
But he was still hungry, Alexandra. On Thursday, he ate through 4 plums.
What?
3 plums, excuse me. But he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he was still hungry.
Watch what happens to the poor cat.
On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake,
I love chocolate cake.
1 ice cream cone,
I love
1 pickle,
pickles.
1 slice of Swiss cheese,
I love
1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, and that night he had a big tummy ache. Here he goes. Well, he wasn't hungry anymore, Matthew,
And I said,
but he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore either.
except why you didn't do the rest.
He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon all around himself, and he stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the end, nibble with me, and he pushed his way out.
What happened?
And do you know what he was?
He was a butterfly.
He was a beautiful butterfly.
Well, the butterfly's supposed to
Oh, I think butterflies are lovely. Do you know what I'd like to do?
caterpillars.
I'd like for you to shake hands with Freddie. Wait until I'm done talking. And then
Hey, Fred.
I would like for you to flap your butterfly wings and fly out of the story hour room and find your moms or your dads, and I'll see you again for another story hour. Matthew, first,
going with
thank you for
you.
coming, and Alexandra,
I'm going with you.
and Charles, and Carrie,
Nice.
and Brandon,